Hello, everybody, and welcome again for another episode of the Fatman and Robyn podcast. I am Marcus Stephens, represented as the Fatman.
And I am Robyn.
We still have a nickname for Robyn. I'm still going to continue to call her Pastry Girl.
What about Nightwing?
You're not Nightwing.
But I'm dark skinned.
We're not going there.
Okay.
So the last few episodes have kind of been special episodes, but this is going to be the typical episode you will see when we don't have, I guess, certain gimmicks. The Bond was kind of a gimmick. The 90s was kind of a gimmick. We're going to just be talking now.
Oh, cool.
Husband and wife do about whatever we feel like for the next 45 to 50 minutes or so.
Easy.
However long we think it will go. Robyn, what's been going on with you? What's been going on with life? Like, I don't talk to you every day. Like, I haven't been home for the last 3 months, everybody.
Well, first off, I wasn't expecting that you'd ask me that, first off, but I'm fine. No. So for those who don't know, I'm a full-time student, college student. And even now during the summer, I'm still taking classes online. Mm. And if you're taking 2 classes, you're considered a full-time student because the classes are accelerated. Okay. They're like 5-6 weeks. And it's hard, man. This is the hardest thing I've ever had to do.
In life.
In life, yeah. Yes.
It's a hard thought. Thought about that for a second.
I had to because I semi-raised a child, so this is harder than that. How about you, baby? What's going on with you? Nothing.
Wow.
Sorry.
I got a lot going on.
Okay. Yeah. What's going on?
In Marcus land, wrestling.
Okay. Like, are you a wrestler?
In my brain.
Oh, so you just mainly watch?
Yeah.
Okay. That's one. Number 2.
I game.
Oh. Are you creating the game?
In my brain.
Okay. So
I create the stories. No.
Okay.
Anyway. Did I knock down when you being a student?
You right, baby. How can you
Don't
though?
You
That's
hit
hard.
My knee.
That's hard though.
Anyway. Yeah, I'm doing nothing. Again, it's now July. Which means have not worked at a job.
Yeah.
It's almost been 100 days. Which is a long time. That's basically a third of a year almost,
Yeah.
It's a thing about. So that feels weird. It's definitely 2020 in general. It's just been just a peculiar year, if I can say so myself.
I mean, I feel like 2020 sucks for everybody. I really did feel
I don't say it sucks. Okay. It's just peculiar. Like, I'm not going to say it sucks because they paid us. So I'm happy about that.
That's nice.
Oh yeah, sorry. Like, it's good in that fact, but it's just been a crazy year. What a year 2020. I like to see alternate universe 2020. I like to see alternate universe 2020. I was gonna say something, but I forgot. That's an insider.
That's fine.
Yeah, I like to see alternate universe 2020 just to see what would happen had, either United States actually prepared for the COVID-19, or B, if it didn't even exist at all.
Right, like what was it, Australia?
New Zealand doesn't even have it. They're just like, it's 20. They have a regular 2020, y'all.
Yeah, they're having a nice time. But I heard that someone traveled back in and they had it, and then
they probably killed them. That's easy. Who's got it?
There was a mob outside their house.
Just killed them. Hey, can you just come with us real quick? No big deal.
They just slaughter people at the border.
But yeah, like I said, no nothing. We obviously got through all the bonds in the last month and a half, which was great. Mm-hmm. Gaming a lot. I beat like most of the big time games that came out in 2020. I completed. Doom Eternal, Final Fantasy VII Remake, which was the most hyped up game of this decade.
Shut up.
It's probably the most hyped up game of my lifetime. I'll say that. And how can you possibly live up to such a amazing 23-year hype? You could never live up to it, but it was still good. What?
No, that's cute. That's cute for you. 23-year hype. How can you live up to that?
97 and 2020.
Okay.
Trials of Mana was great, and of course Last of Us 2 affected me on a different level than all these other games, just because the story and narrative were so much different than what I was expecting from other video games. So it was fantastic. But other than that, yeah, now I'm just waiting for more games.
We are?
Me.
Okay.
We as gamers.
Okay.
The gaming collective.
The gaming community.
We're waiting for new games. Of course, Ghost of Tsushima. I don't know how you say it. It's a Japanese game.
Okay.
Set in Japan. Feudal Japan. It comes out on the 17th of this month. So I'm looking forward to playing that.
I like hearing about Feudal Japan.
Feudal Japan is one of my favorite eras.
Yeah.
So I'm really looking forward to going through that.
And like old timey China. I like hearing about that too.
Like my favorite eras would be Feudal Japan.
Ming Dynasty.
No, I was gonna say
for me.
Ming Dynasty. That's your number one, or that's like part of like one of your.
Let's not put numbers on stuff. We're done with that. Okay.
Give me three.
What do you mean three?
Three favorite periods.
Of time in life through like
anything. Like.
Okay, I do like Ming Dynasty. I do like Feudal Japan. I just don't know if I would put that as like as my
just
three.
Pick three. I wouldn't say I'm not. You can't make top three.
Well, you're the one who put a number on it. So if you say pick three, of course your reaction is to pick like the top three or the best three. So I'll say, like now looking back on it, not to say that I would want to be a person in that era, but I like hearing about it. Victorian.
Victorian's pretty good. I like that.
Yeah, I like the clothing. I think that's
pretty good.
Like I would totally.
Even the corsets.
I have corsets.
I thought they were like
made out of whalebone. I mean, if you give me a 2020 corset, I'll rock that, but not a
whalebone.
Not a 1800s corset because they were made out of whalebones. Why are you laughing?
Sorry, my mouth's dry. Whalebone. It's just not just. I don't know. Sorry.
What? I mean, what are they going to use? Did they have plastic?
Exactly, that's what I'm saying. It's just like, again, it's like we were talking about before when you see like television was so big. Again, 33 million people watch Simpsons episode.
Right.
You can't watch, or like, I think the Super Bowl now got like 12 million. People are like, oh my god, that's big! It's just like,
is it?
Exactly, it's like, holy crap. People watch a half-hour episode of a cartoon in 1990.
Yeah.
And that was like big, so.
Huge.
Victorian, Ming.
Oh, and I guess you can put Feudal Japan in there as well. But.
Okay. Yeah, definitely Feudal Japan is my number one, but it's up there. The 90s, because duh.
Yeah.
And I don't know really so when to classify this, but like the mob era, like
really?
like yeah, like all the
like early 1900s.
Like yeah, like so I guess when like anytime like the timeline with the Godfather and all those movies take place, just because I like that era a lot, just because I think mob families and all that is just
interesting,
pretty awesome. Like in terms, I would never do something like that, but it's just like
just to clarify
the structure of how it all goes, like from being a made man to being a don, and then all those like other capos and all those other things. I know,
yeah,
Lindo, baby. No, I really just love that timeline. Just it also has a lot to do with the Tommy gun. Just because that gun,
it is kind of cool.
It's an awesome gun.
Yeah,
right?
it's nice looking.
So yeah, I think actually that might be number one, my favorite era.
So are we doing favorites now?
That would be for me. I know if it's hard for you, but I can pick things out, like just saying something is my favorite.
So I'm a huge music buff, and I would love to just spend one day, that's all I need, in like the Motown, I guess, I don't know if you can call it era, but just like in the 1950s and 60s where Motown is getting huge and it's getting up off of its feet, and it's like everybody wants to, if you are an aspiring performer, you want Motown. If you are a music buff, you're listening to Motown. If you are going to go see someone perform, someone who's a part of Motown, like that's just what it was. Or the 80s, because
I was waiting for you to say 80s.
Okay.
So like I was like
I love learning about the 80s. Again, I mean, if I'm like for real, being a black woman in America, I probably wouldn't want to like live in those eras.
I was gonna say something about this. Like,
that's why I said one day. But the 80s, like I love the fashion first off, and I just love like how different it was musically, fashion wise, entertainment wise. It was a dawning of a new age, and it brought about punk. And then 10 years later when we got grunge music and and ska. So yeah, I love seeing how, I would love to go back and see where we got everything that we love now. because we are influenced by all the stuff that's happened in the past. So
we talked about that in Bond, where
exactly.
you want to see you're really big on seeing what the source of certain things are. So that just kind of relates to the eras. But okay,
that's my thing. I want to know the source.
You're right, the source of it. Gotcha. Okay, so let's go now. I have some current events we can talk about, and then Robyn may have something.
I don't, but
you may be.
Okay.
You talk about we talked about in the last episode. I wanted more knowledge about the whole Will Smith and everything.
Oh.
So let me get some of these.
I haven't done research on it.
But yes, I just on the general basis of it.
Okay, I know a little bit about it. Not the new stuff, but the old stuff, because apparently this has been a rumor before. Okay. But you go.
Okay, so all my current events are, of course, tied around what's going on in the world, unfortunately.
What's going on?
COVID-19.
Oh.
So I want to just read a few that I thought were interesting.
Okay.
Interesting because it's AMC. So AMC theaters had announced, hey, we're opening up our theaters on July 15th, and we don't require you to wear a mask.
Right? They said that?
And then the next day they were like, oh, yeah, you're going to need to wear a mask. But then they pushed it back to from July 15th to July 30th because obviously, the spikes increase. I think yes, today, July 2nd, whenever, I think 10,000 new cases in the United States alone.
I heard there are hundreds, as in either 300s of cases. 300 something cases in Pennsylvania alone.
Oh yeah, so so I guess I understand them not pushing back the release of, the opening of theaters. It's not like anything super big is coming out. Of course, Tenet is on its way in August, but I don't really want to see an AMC. Because with me, I think you and I were talking about you want to see a IMAX movie.
Yeah.
So I definitely like the Tenet to be like that first movie we see together in IMAX. Because it's specifically designed to be viewed in an IMAX like theater.
Right.
So I don't really care about AMC.
Yeah, we haven't even been to AMC in a very long time, have we?
Studio Movie Grill. I don't like y'all.
Yeah, but y'all close.
Let me put this out there right now. 69th Street Studio Movie Grill. If you can hear me, when we first started going to Studio Movie Grill, right before the move, they always show these team member videos, right? They haven't. I don't think that they do it now. They replace it with their loyalty program and then showing like them affecting the community and stuff like that.
Right.
That's all fine and good. I'm just saying maybe you should bring this one back, but they will always show the team members like, hi, I'm Corey, I'm Ryan, I'm your team member taking care of you today. No, you're not.
No,
because
you're an actor.
What I'm saying is I think 69th Street Studio Movie Grill, and you can take this idea and you can just have it for free.
Whoa.
I don't care.
I'm a full-time student. We struggling.
Give Robyn all the money.
Yes.
But you need to make your own people who work there, especially now when you guys reopen.
That'd be nice.
Make your own video of who's working there, who's taking care of you people. Because we've talked to some nice people there. Well, one person I think I talked to. One Avengers Infinity War. I saw a shirt and made a comment on it. That's talking to me. So yeah, you need to have your own team members there, and you need to say this is so and so, this is so and so, and introduce them like on the big screen.
I think that'd be too much, but if they did that with the general manager, assistant manager, supervisor kind of thing,
okay, that's fine.
Yeah, that would be better.
People maybe even that are willing, like if it's the people who are the servers or the bartenders or the cooks, because I think that's interesting. Don't show where you cook the food and stuff like that.
Yeah, because I'm sure it's gross.
It's horrible. I'm sure probably, I don't know if they're upkeeping it. I don't know who, they have to be, obviously, right? Somebody has to be in there.
Like right now?
Yeah.
Well, if no one's going in and out. I feel like everyone cleaned when the height of COVID and when we started doing the stay-at-home orders.
They closed right away.
Did they really?
They were like, I remember because we were home. And what was that? We wanted to go see The Hunt or...
Yeah, we saw that here though.
Yeah, but we wanted to see it in theaters. And I was planning on going that Tuesday. And that Tuesday, I think they said we're closed. I think it was March, my first week I was home.
Oh, okay.
March 23rd or something like that. Or March 30th. I remember the dates more. I'm sorry.
That's his one job.
Here's our relationship is set up. I remember everything.
Yes.
Robyn doesn't remember a darn thing.
Yes.
So
dates and times mainly, but that's it.
But so I think they stopped right then. So it's been about 3 months now. Since they've been closed.
3.
March 30th. Okay. Want to say March 30th is in July now.
Right.
But yeah, so I think that would be interesting for them to do if they pursue that. But I understand AMC not wanting to open, and that's even going to be hard because a lot of places are going to be open at 50% capacity.
Yeah.
So that's another thing that's going to be strange. And I keep saying that I really don't want to go to a restaurant until like, I'm not going to say restrictions are lifted, but like. It's just gonna be the world in general is just gonna be different place.
Okay.
After.
I would like to say something.
Please.
I think if you're afraid to go to a restaurant because of COVID is the least of your problems when it comes to a restaurant.
I'm not saying it's because of COVID. But it's because of crowdedness and stuff like that.
Oh, you don't like crowds.
Exactly.
Right. Okay.
And people have already, if nothing has already been proven, that as soon as the stay-at-home orders for a lot of places have gone away,
they bum rush.
Release the Kraken, kind of thing. So it's like, I don't want to have to deal with that. Oh yeah, McDonald's is going to be a 2-hour wait. I'm just using that as a little like a exaggeration, but
it's like that one episode of SpongeBob. I think it was the first episode or something like that, where all the little I forgot what they were called.
Nematodes.
Is that what they were?
Probably not.
But they were all crowded around the Krusty Krabs, and it took SpongeBob coming in on his helicopter spatula.
Yeah,
you know what I'm talking about? Mm-hmm. Yeah, that definitely, it's definitely going to be like that.
So and I'm not for that.
I agree. I don't want to sit in somewhere crowded. Period.
Yeah, it's not to do with COVID. Like I understand, the dangers of going out and everything, but I just don't want to be. I just don't like crowds. I just like people as it is. Like a lot of people around me. Okay. So I just don't want to deal with anything like that. All right. Another fun event because I got one for movies because I'm a movie fan. Mm-hmm. This is a wrestling thing, but I told you about it yesterday. This is still effective because it's funny. It's really funny to me. So they had a vote, I think, in Tennessee for they should have masks and wearing it indoors, like to make it mandatory. And it was a 7-1 vote, and there was only one person who said no.
Right.
And that is Knoxville County Mayor Glenn Jacobs, who better known to the world probably because he's such an icon of professional wrestling. Kane. Yeah. If you don't know, Kane wore a freaking mask for most of his career.
Yeah. Yeah. For what, 90% of his career?
I would say, maybe not 90, I would say like 60, 65, because he unmasked in 03, and then like 03 to like 2008-ish, 9, he put his mask back on. It was like,
so
off and on.
You can say that his fame comes from wearing a mask.
Exactly.
Okay.
Which I think is funny, now that he's like, no.
Right. That's like if Rey Mysterio was like, nah, they shouldn't be. Is that the same thing? I
just think it's not. I don't think it's political. I just think it's funny if you wear a mask for your whole life and your fans wearing a mask, right? And then when it comes time to ordinate, wear a mask because it saves lives or whatever.
Or whatever.
Because it's a hot debate right now. The mask is a hot debate in America, or actually overall.
It could potentially save lives. It could
potentially, but people don't want that to be forced upon them. Like I read, I'm gonna find that thing to read. Remember I was saying.
I remember.
Okay, so we'll talk about that as well. I just thought it was a funny thing because again, he was such a famous person for wearing a mask his whole life. They said, no, not a mask. It's not. Again, it has nothing to do with his politics. I don't know. He's a libertarian. So,
is he? Yeah. What was the title of that article? I thought that was hilarious.
I forget. I put on my paper, professional mask wear against mask ordinance. Yeah. It was something along those lines anyway.
That's messed up.
I just think that's funny.
It is funny.
Now here is the one I want to talk to you about. I just read this morning, and I'm going to just read the title of what I posted down on here. Okay. Alabama COVID-19 parties. Okay? So this is an article from, and this is the title of the article. It says, Alabama students throwing COVID parties to see who gets infected. Let me read. Students in Alabama who have been diagnosed with COVID-19 have been attending parties in the city and surrounding area as part of a disturbing contest to see who can catch the virus first, a city council member told ABC News on Wednesday. The city councilor said students have been organizing COVID parties as a game to intentionally infect each other with the contagion that has killed more than 127,000 people in the United States. She said she recently learned of the behavior and informed the city council of the parties occurring in the city. She said the organizers of the party are purposely inviting guests who have COVID-19. They put money in a pot and they try to get COVID. Whoever gets COVID first gets the pot. It makes no sense, she says. They're intentionally doing it. The fire chief, Randy Smith, told City Council on Tuesday that he has confirmed the students' careless behavior. Next page. In a briefing to the City Council, Smith expressed concern that in recent weeks there have been parties held throughout the city and surrounding county where students or kids would come in with known positives. We thought that this kind of was a rumor at first. We did some research. Not only do the doctor's office confirm it, but the state confirmed that they had the same information. In the presentation, Smith, who wore a face mask, did not say what is being done to curb the behavior or what schools the students were from. Mostly it's done in the University of Alabama and several other colleges. Just hours before Smith's briefing, the City Council unanimously passed an ordinance requiring people to wear face coverings when out in public. Let's see if I get another. Yeah, they're just basically trying to see what they can do to fight the pandemic. But that's basically. So, basically, I just want to read that because you were saying that basically there's like, hey, let's have a COVID party. Let's try to get to the disease. First of all, I don't even know how much money is in this pot, but it can't be worth your life.
Absolutely, number one. And number two, I'm glad that you clarified because I was going to ask, are these college students or high school students or younger?
It's college students, apparently.
Which is just...
In Alabama.
I mean, I guess it doesn't matter what grade or schooling you're in, but this is just dumb. That's up there with the Tide Pods. Remember that?
Yes, I do remember that.
Which is so dumb. Like, why are you intentionally harming yourself? And the thing is, COVID takes 2 weeks to manifest? So who's holding on to all that money for 2 weeks just to give it?
That's what you're worried about?
That, I'm just saying, like, that's dumb. That is really stupid. Like, oh, if you win, come back and I'll give you the money. But no, dog, first off, that money is gone. Like, I feel like this is a scam. A scam. What's it called? A con artist probably came up with this. Like, oh yeah, college students are dumb. And it's a party, so there's probably alcohol. And once you are full of libations, you're down for anything, just about.
Courage.
So exactly, no, liquid stupidity sometimes. Yeah. So, but like, this is dumb. This is so dumb. It's amazing how something as simple as wearing a mask is a political statement.
In 2020. Well,
yes.
Hello. Welcome to 2020.
And it's like...
the year of Australia burning, murder hornets, and COVID-19.
And you know what's so funny? I look back just I view years in semesters. Okay. So last semester...
I'm sorry.
In the fall semester, which is towards the end of the year, I remember this one girl coming into my math class, and she had on a mask. And I remember thinking like, oh, whenever someone has on a mask, like, not so much stay away from them, but that person is sick, some kind of sick, or maybe has an infection or something, but they're trying to not spread that. And everyone was okay with that. Like, everyone's okay. If you are sick or if you have, like, flu-like symptoms, everyone is okay with you wearing a mask to protect the people around you and not potentially harm them. But now, if I go out and wear a mask, it's like, oh, you believe that? Like, oh, you're scared? Something like that. It's like, it's not scared. It's caution. It's being cautious. Mm-hmm. It's like, what else do you take caution for? Oh, are you going to get on me for wearing a seatbelt in the car? Like, are you going to get on me for wearing a knife guard when I go to chop vegetables? Like, what is the problem? What is the problem? Really, I just don't understand. It's dumb. It's all dumb to me.
It's like again, like you said, it's just basically that's how far 2020 has come.
Yeah. That
it's a political statement. And again, I understand a lot of people are like, it's impending on our freedom.
Right.
I don't want to wear a mask.
And if you don't wear a mask and you're a Trump supporter, like, how did we get here? Where did that come from?
That's how drastic. Again, when you have so many people stuck in the house all at one time, just crazy things happen, like cancel culture.
Oh.
I want to read this because now we're on a mask thing. I read this on a wrestling post because a wrestler named Austin Aries posted this because he's saying face mask is stupid and everything, blah blah. You're impending. He's one of the people saying you're putting up each other's health on him or on that somebody else. Like, so let me just read this and we can talk about this further. All right, it says, and then after this, let's talk about Will Smith. After the COVID, I see a whole lot of this. People who don't wear masks are selfish and putting everyone else in danger. Just know, stop. Do you know what's selfish? Passing off responsibility for your health to everyone else around you. It doesn't work that way. Your health is your responsibility. My health is mine. Trust me, you don't want me in charge of your health because I'll swoop in and toss out all your junk food, your processed crap, alcohol, cigs, fill your fridge with fruits and veggies, force you to drink water, take quality supplements, exercise daily, and get plenty of sleep. Oh, what's that? You don't want to be told what to eat, drink, take, do, etc.? It just says it in the letter because I want to read it. Well, Karen, if the way you're living promotes poor health and a depleted immune system that isn't functioning at its best, then you don't get to make a single health decision for me. My freedoms don't end where your fears begin. We are all adults that make our own decisions regarding the level of risk we are willing to take in everyday life. As of now, we are a free country, although that seems to be changing. If you want to wear a mask, bleach everything around you, wear gloves, and never touch anyone or anything, that's up to you. I do not and cannot accept that life. Now, first thing I want to say is, COVID-19 is contagious, right?
It is.
Obesity is not.
Okay.
It's in the same way that they have banned like indoor smoking.
Yeah.
Is the same thing going on now.
Yeah.
That's all it is, in my opinion. Like, again.
Yeah, because indoor smoking, secondhand smoke, that's a real thing.
It hurts. It hurts. I completely agree.
Mm-hmm.
If you've been exposed to somebody who has COVID, and you go out to a bar or something like that, it's the same thing as secondhand smoke.
It's like a flu. See, people aren't like this with the flu because there are flu shots or flu vaccines. And once we get a COVID vaccine, then yeah, things will probably change. I mean, I'm not going to have to get the vaccine once it first comes out. You never get the first batch, baby.
But they've already tested on people like certain other things, and they've either died or they've like.
Okay, well, when you hear that it's local, never get the first batch.
Oh, no, of course not. They're like they should probably do this joke on Chappelle's show like back in 03, 04. He said his mom or his aunt said, "You never want to be the first black something, you know." So that stems from that. Okay, I'm off my soapbox about COVID. Just be safe.
I will say this: so wearing a mask is not so. What did he say? Putting your health on him.
Yeah.
It's not about you. It's about me. And here's the thing. Let's say you're infected with COVID. I'm wearing a mask so I won't get infected, or to lower my chances of getting infected. That's the whole thing about a mask. It's just like exercising. It's just like eating right. It's another precaution to take to help. It's a preventive method to help prevent getting a virus. Just like you would with the flu. People wear masks during flu season. When you go to a hospital, they're wearing masks and stuff like that too. Are you telling your nurse to take her mask off? How dare you? No, you're not.
Right.
So, I mean, or for example, and I hope I'm not wrong, cancer patients, if you were to go visit a cancer patient, you are masked up, like maybe even from head to toe. There are some nurses I've seen who they got their hair, they got the thing over their head. They got on the I don't know what these things are called, but the hospital garbs, they have on all of the hospital garbs, including a mask over their face. The only thing that's not really shown, or the only thing that is really showing, is your eyes. So are you going to be like, why are you, scared? You're scared of getting cancer? No, they don't want to infect the cancer patient, because when you have cancer, your immune system is, not just when you have cancer, when you're going through radiation chemotherapy, your immune system is almost non-existent. And so, I mean, with, like our brother Gerard, when he was in the hospital, they would come in with masks. Yeah. His wife Shantae was wearing a mask. So are we going to get on cancer patients now? Are we going to get on the hospitals now? Or,
where does it end?
Yeah, like where does it end? And I just feel like people are just being really self-centered when it comes to a mask. It's really not that big of a deal, if you ask me, wearing a mask. If wearing a mask means that I'm protecting myself, just like wearing a coat means that I'm protecting myself from being cold and from getting a cold, well, then what's the difference? I just don't see the difference from any other preventative method.
It depends on my freedom as an American citizen.
This is not a gun control type of situation. This is just simply wearing a mask. And what is up with us Americans? Because they do this over in Asia, and it's nothing.
No problem.
It's common. When you feel like you're getting sick or you're coming down with something, you put on a mask. When I went to the hospital, what was that, last February, I think? Remember those chest pains that I had?
Yeah. I'm sorry, I was like, which time?
Dang, how many times I went to the hospital? I had costochondritis, and I was telling her, I was like, my chest is on fire. Costochondritis is when the cartilage in your rib cage is inflamed, and it felt like a heart attack. And she was like, okay, well, do you have any flu-like symptoms? I said, no. Like, I'm like, why are you focusing on that? Like, hello, fire.
I swallow fire.
Right, but she was like, have you been coughing? I was like, yeah, I cough. And she just threw it on me immediately. Why? Because there are people in the hospital who are infected and who I could potentially infect, whether it's just a cough or not. And it's never just a cough, by the way. There's particles coming out, and that's why they say stay 6 feet, because those particles can travel 6 feet. That's why you should cover your mouth, honey. Okay. He doesn't cover his mouth all the time.
I don't care about it. But no, see, no, I'm joking.
See? You're not joking. You meant that.
I just do it to do it. When I'm out in public, obviously.
Yeah. Bring that home. Okay. That public stuff you do,
bring it home.
Bring it here.
But the last thing I'll say about this, because the first few months when I was home, the first, I guess, a month and a half or so, I didn't want to go anywhere because I just wanted to, because I know how I am. Mm-hmm. I'm very sneezy and snotty and coughy.
Yes, you are.
Just in general.
Mm-hmm.
So.
You really are.
That's why I'm
I don't understand. What's wrong with you, baby?
It's probably a nasal drip that's not. It's always dripping.
Oh.
Whatever.
Okay.
But I knew how I was, so I'm like, I'm not going to go out because, you know, it's already bad normal life, so it's just like, oh, he's sneezing 100 times in a row. And in COVID, they would have took me to the hospital and like made me pay a bill that I couldn't afford.
We ain't got time for that.
Exactly. So I was very leery about going anywhere. People the household was always like, "You want to go?" I'm like, "No, I really want to stay." Even now, I'm still like, I know how I am. I have good days and bad days, so it's like today is a okay day, it's a midday, but it's just like, how hard is it? It's just this little things can divide a nation.
Yeah, seriously.
We're never going to grow from it. We're never going to grow.
I mean, that's where I stress the importance of education, of educating yourself. And it's not, like, I know that there are teachers for that, professors for that, but when you're out of that teacher-professor phase, it's on you to educate yourself. So I recommend that people educate themselves, like, what's the point of a mask? And because there are some masks that still let in stuff, that's why they say get a specific mask and do the lighter test. If you can light a light, or I guess you don't even have to do a lighter, but I don't know, put your face up to the stove if you're bold enough and try to blow on the flame. And if you see the flame flicker, your mask is not working. Right. So
I gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. That's my yearly COVID talk. I'm trying not to talk about it anymore. Robyn,
good luck.
Yeah, good luck, right? Still got another whole 2020 to get to.
Right.
Robyn was telling me something on the last podcast I wanted to bring up now because I thought, it's another thing that just kind of went over my head. So go ahead and talk to me about this whole Jada Smith thing going on.
Okay.
I have no idea.
So his name is August Alsina. Okay. Say it with me. August Alsina. Very good, baby. So everybody and their mom knows that Jada Pinkett and Will Smith have been together since 1994. Oh, my sister was born in 1994, so what was that 26 years that they've been together? And I think they've been married 96, I think. Sure. Anyway, don't give me the line, but they've been married since the 90s. And they've been together since 94. So everyone always looks at them as a power couple, and then maybe 10 years ago or so, there were these rumors that came out that they were getting a divorce or that they were divorced, or that they're just like weird. Like people are saying Jada Pinkett is a Scientologist. They this in the black community, this one really made black people be like, what's wrong with them when they just the way that they raise their kids. So Willow Smith and Jaden Smith. So when people heard about this he's an R&B and hip hop artist. His name's August Alsina. I don't listen to his music at all, and I don't really listen to a lot of hip hop and R&B. Today's hip hop and R&B. So he came on her show, The Red Table Talk, on Facebook, and they were talking about he's had a history with like sexual abuse. Drugs, I want to say drugs and alcohol, but definitely drugs. He's a recovering addict and things like that. And I want to say depression. So he's got like all these things that he's battling and just lots of things that's happened to him throughout his life. And apparently people are saying that Jada Pinkett took advantage of that and started having an affair with him. And then August Alsina got on I don't think it was a Breakfast Club, but Angie Lee from the Breakfast Club, he was talking with her, and he basically said he sat down with Will Smith, and Will Smith gave him his blessing. And that rumor that him and Jada Pinkett were a thing, like they're not a thing anymore, apparently. Everyone knew like that's what he was talking about when you bring up Will Smith and you say he gave me your blessing. Everyone knew like, oh, he's talking about Jada. So and I also want to say that there was a song he did that basically showed, it was like a text message chain, and you see his face. I forgot what it's called when it's your face, not a Bitmoji, but like the one that moves. I forgot what it's called, but it's like Bitmoji-esque. Okay. It was his face, and he's texting back and forth between somebody named Karen, and that's Jada Pinkett's middle name is Karen. And did you know Jada Pinkett has her own metal band? I feel like I told you.
Was Jada Pinkett we were talking about? I thought we listened. Somebody had
Wicked Wisdom. Yeah, it was Jada Pinkett.
That's that. Okay, got it. Mm-hmm. Yes, got it. Mm-hmm.
So her name in her band is Jada Karen.
Got you.
So that's her middle name is Karen, and that was the name of the person on the text message chain was Karen, and they're going back and forth, and he's just like basically breaking up with this person, and the person is like, why, or like, why would you do that? How could you, kind of thing. And yeah, so and that was like maybe a year or two ago, that. And now recently he got on the interview with Angie Lee and was like, yeah, Will Smith gave me his blessing, basically. Because there's another rumor that Will Smith and Jada Pinkett, like, they're not married, they're life partners, and everyone's like, well, what exactly does that mean? Like, y'all sleeping with other people? There's a rumor that Will Smith has a girlfriend or has had a girlfriend, because there was some model, and I think that they're friends, but they were both in like Egypt, or I think Cairo together, but they were both in Egypt together, like both in, like, they weren't taking really like pictures together, but the girl would take a picture kissing the Sphinx in Egypt, and then Will Smith would take the same picture, like in the same spot, like on the same day. Like, and
they posted the same day, or
I think they did post the same day, but it's the same picture, except it's the girl and then it's Will Smith. The sky looks the same, so it's the same time of day,
Come on,
So, but that's just one of those rumors about Jada and Will, is that they have an open relationship kind of thing, and they're always shutting it down. They always say that that's not true, but there's this evidence. It's hard to ignore. So yeah, so that's that. And I was just reading downstairs that when Jada comes back with her Red Table Talk, she's going to address these claims. Now both Will and Jada say that it's not true, so she's going to address this, I guess. That's what she said.
They're going to pull because he's a former addict, right?
Ooh.
They're gonna pull that card.
I don't know. I don't think so, because when he was on her show, she, like, you could see like the kind of like love that she had for him. Okay. I don't know if you want to call it boo love or puppy love, or because apparently August said they were together for years. Okay. So and I even heard a blogger say that they kind of got married, like not legally married, but they like pledged themselves to each other, something like that. So, and he already had all that going on, plus heartbreak, it's going to make you feel some kind of way. Right. So people are like, let him tell his truth. He's getting it off of his chest, kind of thing. And there are men who are like, why would you do that to Jada and Will, man? I'm gonna have to show you the video.
Okay, yeah.
Who was it? It was Shuit King, who was like, he's very funny. You should check him out. He was like, man, if Will Smith out here telling you that you can sleep with Jada, you don't go telling people that. Wait, it might have been Ryan Davis who said it.
Okay, yeah.
But yeah, I know. Yeah, so it was one of them. But it was like, man, you out here ruining it for us. Man, Will, if you want me to handle that, I got you, Will. But yeah, so there's like two sides to this. People are on August's side. People are on Will and Jada's side. I don't know. It's messy. It is messy.
Messy as hell.
Yeah. It's very messy.
Yo.
But yeah, so that's the whole August Alsina thing.
I got a lot.
Your thoughts.
I got.
What? I mean, what?
One.
Mm-hmm.
How old is this dude? He's young.
He's born the same year as me, so he'll be 28.
You did mention? Did you mention him?
I did, yeah.
Okay, yeah.
That's why this whole thing came out.
Right.
So he'll be 28 later this year.
How old is Jaden?
Jade, 21. 21, 22.
I have to assume that they knew each other. Jada and August knew each other through Jaden probably because Jaden does music.
I don't know. I really don't know how they came to be in each other's circles. Because, you know, they, like Will and Jada, they go out and they meet people all the time. No, I'm just saying, like,
they go out.
Like, you know, those parties that Hollywood be having, I guess, where you just meet people and you're networking and whatever. And maybe it is through Jaden, maybe it's through Willow. I really don't know, but they were all close at one point. Mm-hmm.
I'm sorry. I'm just like wrapping my head around all this.
Mm-hmm.
I agree with the comedians are saying. If it is true.
Really?
Wait. I'm saying it like this. If Will gave permission and that is their agreement in their I don't know, marriage or whatever they've got going on. August should not be putting that on blast, like saying like
okay.
Will give me his blessing. You don't say that. Like, I understand where they're coming from.
So okay, so you're just saying the part where Will gave him his blessing, you agree, like you shouldn't be telling that man's.
You shouldn't tell. Yeah, that all should have been private between. If all three of y'all should have been private. I'm not gonna make if it's true. I don't make no judgments on either of them because that's their marriage.
Okay.
And we just on the outside looking in.
That is true.
I ain't got time for that.
That is true. However, but think about it if you were in his shoes. If you went out there and started telling people that you were sleeping with this married woman, y'all were together for years, people are going to be like, how can you do that to Will? What was wrong with you, sir?
I agree.
So it's like, no.
He put the blame
He gave me... like, no, he cool with it.
I've been smashing no girl for a while now.
Yeah, and he knew.
I'm sorry, I didn't like how to say
He was watching. I'm sorry.
I do understand more from that point. Like,
right.
Everybody's coming at him like, hey, wait a second, let me give you the receipts real quick. That's what the youth say, right? I got it.
Okay, stop it, baby. Okay. And there's this picture of him and Jada. Jada looked amazing, by the way. Jada looks good. She's 50 now? I think she just turned 50. So she looks great. But there's a picture of him and her at the BET Awards in 2017, and and in the background is Queen Latifah, and she's just minding her own business. But there's a meme, and people were like Queen Latifah looking at them like, they doing it, but they didn't say doing it.
All right,
you're right. But it was funny, yeah.
It's just a lot of. Damn, Will.
But that's how do you explain that? Like you were his +1 to the BET Awards.
Was Will there?
I don't think so.
Maybe
or I didn't see him. No one was saying that he was there.
Or maybe Will was in Cairo.
Doing his own thing. You might be right. When was the last time you saw Will at the BET Awards? And Jada, and for real, why would Jada go to the BET Awards if not to support her boo?
Good point. Because they're not going to ask at the BET Awards for Will Smith to rap.
Right.
Maybe the Kid Choice Awards.
Stop.
Let's go do your homework.
Girls of the world ain't nothing but trouble.
Dude, that's the Family Guy. Have you ever seen that episode?
Oh, I don't cuss. There's a good reason why he doesn't cuss, and I respect that.
I don't know the reason.
He said so when he was younger, he was writing raps in this notebook, whatever, and his grandmother found it, and she left him a note, I think, within the notebook, but left him a note, whatever, and was like, you know, basically saying you don't have to cuss, or you know, you shouldn't be cussing, or something like that. Just like, you know, like basically say, because Will Smith is a very smart man. Did you know that he got into MIT and chose not to go? You smart.
It's a butterfly effect. That's a whole butterfly effect all of itself. Like before his film career started?
Yeah, when he applied to college.
I gotta do research on that.
Before his film, yes, but he was already doing the Fresh Prince scene with him and DJ Jazzy.
I would like to delve into that a little bit more to see how. Like I would like to know the exact point when. Was it like season 1? Because they could have did season 1 of Fresh Prince and canceled it.
It was before Fresh Prince.
It was before.
Yeah, it was.
Oh, I didn't say before.
I'm sorry. When I say Fresh, you know he was Fresh Prince before.
Yeah, I'm talking about.
Right.
When I talk about Fresh Prince, I'm talking about Fresh Prince.
I'm talking about him being Fresh Prince, the music artist.
Got you.
Sorry, I'm talking about Will Smith, the music artist, not the actor.
Not the breakthrough show.
Yes. So when he was, what is that, like 87, 88 maybe? Yeah. So that's he was like, I can pursue my music, and he didn't know that this huge film career was coming.
No, of course you don't know.
Right. So he was like, I can pursue music, or I can go to MIT, and that's a hard choice. That's a gamble, and I respect that.
That's really one of those like different doors, like
right.
It's literally like there's decisions in your life that you can make that basically kind of like weave back to the same spot. You know what I mean?
I think so.
But there's decisions like that are so different that the paths will never meet.
Right.
And that's one of those decisions where it's like there's no way he could attain that level of fame.
No, not going to MIT. No. But he probably still would have been, financially fit.
Even financially, but he would not be as. There's no Fresh Prince, which means there's no Men in Black.
Ooh,
who knows?
Independence Day.
He met Jada
from
Fresh Prince.
Exactly.
So again, it's like the same thing when I talk about with you all the time. Like with my life, seriously, it's like you always think about the different ways things could go, and like how I not worked at McDonald's, how I not got the interview at the time, little things like that. Then different avenues. Right. It's crazy how things like that can go. So I would love to see again. It's another alternate world. I'd say a world where
Will Smith with MIT.
Will Smith with MIT. How? Because again, a little thing like that could have a great effect on
absolutely
a lot of people. A lot of people
look up to him,
or are influenced by him.
Oh my God! I just thought about this. So Timothy Delgado. I think I told you he got his name from Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. So
if there's no Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, there's no him. There's a lot of just different things that he doesn't know how many people he really influenced or inspired, like growing up. So
there was a guy within the past year who did a song based off of Will Smith's career, and then Will Smith, and then he jumped on the remix, which is really dope. Yeah. But what were we talking about before MIT?
I think we're just talking about Will Smith in general. We're just talking about...
Because I said, he's really smart. I'm just forgetting what I said before that. But anyway, so yeah. But yeah, that's the whole thing.
Okay. Yeah. That's very interesting. Like I said, that whole giving your blessing, bro, if you said that... I understand from both points. If he said that, keep it private. Yeah. But if he just said you want to get the heat off of you and put it back on them, because, I can understand, because Twitter trolls, because, again, this goes into my very last point, because we're actually already almost at the...
Holy crap.
I know, right? I can understand Twitter trolls or people who keep asking questions like, what are you doing? So he probably had to give in. Some people just give in from either peer pressure or just kind of pressure like that.
And I don't think I mentioned this, but he has an album coming out, or it's already out. So to help with the sales, exactly.
So you should have led with that. That's what. That's the reason, right?
That's why you did it.
That's the reason. Well, I hope this kid doesn't get canceled after this, because if it's a lie, they gonna call him out on it. And
that's what they plan on.
If they have plans and receipts and everything, and he gets called out on this, then that's hopefully it's not the end of his career. It's
kind of hard to refute, though, that they were together. Like, you didn't see that Red Table Talk interview. How now some people may say she was
maybe,
not so much flirtatious, but people may say she was kind of motherly towards him. But I feel like that's how you feel when like you have this great love or lover, and they're telling their story, like how hard and rough it was for them, and you're just there like, oh man, it's tugging on your heartstrings, and you feel for them, things like that, and it's like you just want to hold them in your nook, like come in my nook and I'll care for you, kind of thing. That's what I was getting from her. She was like, come in my nook. But apparently at that time they were already smash.
There's a joke in there somewhere.
Stop it.
Anyway, we are now out of time. We covered most of the topics I wanted to talk about.
Oh, cool. I had nothing.
I got it, baby.
Good.
I know if I can just throw some ideas to you, you'll talk for a long time, and it's not a shade. That's good.
I feel like I should be insulted though.
No, why would you be insulted?
That's true.
You have ideas that you want to get out and talk. This is a good platform for you to have to do that.
No, I'm just thinking back to when you're like, when I tell a story, it's a straight line. But when Robyn tells a story...
But this is I guess this is one of the only times where that skill of yours...
So in your face.
Good job. Thank you for joining us on this episode of the Fatman and Robyn podcast. Continue to follow us on Twitter, Fatman and Robyn, all one word, Robyn with a Y.
Because I'm fancy.
We on YouTube. If you are watching this video, you're on us. But if you're on YouTube, make sure you subscribe and hit the bell notification so you get notification anytime videos are posted. Usually they're posted on Wednesdays. If you're listening just to audio, podcast, it's on Google Podcasts, we're on Spotify, Apple Podcasts. Stitcher, still waiting on iHeartRadio and Pandora. Those are going to be coming in the future. You have any final comments you want to say, Robyn, to the people?
I need a cool nickname.
Pastry Girl.
I haven't made a pastry in a while. It's embarrassing. What was the last thing I did that I baked? Dad's birthday cake last year.
Oh, so that's not that bad.
It's a year ago. Almost a year ago.
It's last decade, but you know. Thank you for joining us this week on the Fatman and Robyn podcast. Continue to follow us, and we'll see you again for another episode next week. Thank you so much for joining us.
Bye.